As I said before, I am obligated to do a few things for you tonight. One of those things being a scene by scene by scene by scene breakdown of Color Out of Space. The basically I prefer to call chat Cosmic Cage. This is fucking Nicolas Cage. Is like, I thought, I think Nicolas Cage, like, he's been, I imagine he's gonna be subtle in this kind of movie. He's gonna be a father, an everyman just trying to protect his family. Nope. Nope. Even from the beginning of this movie, he's fucking. You just know. It's like, all right, there's something wrong here. There's like a lot of tension in this family, and Nicolas Cage is fucking crazy ass isn't helping the situation. Like, he is always at 11 when he just just bring it down a little bit. Just bring it down. Don't be so exaggerated. It's like he can't help himself. Absolutely can't help himself, chap. But this is directed by Richard Stanley, and this is very interesting. By the way, who's Richard Stanley? I haven't heard that name. The last thing that he directed, chat, came out in 1996, so it's been a very long time since he directed a movie, and I can understand why, because this movie happened to be The Island of Dr. Moreau with fucking Marlon Brando and, Val Kilmer. An infamous film, both known for being terrible and just a nightmare of a shoot. Principal photography, chat. There's a documentary out there right now about the production of this film. Fantastic. Please do watch that documentary and then watch Dr. Moreau. Fucking Marlon Brando, 350 pounds, refused to, memorize any of his lines. Him and Val Kilmer always bickering. One day, fucking Marlon Brando just decided to wear an ice bucket on his head and he didn't want to take it off at all. And that's part of the character. I mean, it is bizarre. Was he the original director that wandered off set? I think he might have been. I don't remember. He was the original director who wandered off. He came, so he left the production. He was fired off of it, I believe, and then he came back in and hid himself as one of the mutated animal human hybrid creatures. It's fucking weird, so weird. So now he's back, chat. And who does he team himself up with? Cosmic Cage. And also another little additional background about Color Out of Space, which just came out in 2019 apparently, but it was, okay. So it had a release date at TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival 2019, but technically it was released this year, chat, January 24th, 2020. This had a very limited theatrical release. It was more of a VOD release. Had a budget about $12 million and a box office of less than $1 million. But again, they made this for VOD. Oh, Dark Side, thank you for the 5 biddies. I found it a bit hypocritical. Brando hated Hollywood, yet still wanted their pick. Yeah, no, exactly. He wanted the money, but didn't want to put in any of the work. He was a prick. All right. There's a lot of tragedy surrounding his life. It's a fascinating and sad life, but he had a reputation for being completely, just known for being completely difficult to work with. But yeah, I highly recommend checking out that documentary. Though, chat. So, like I said, this film is pretty much just a straight VOD release, and I can kind of understand why this might be a bit of a hard sell. For mass audiences, because there's a lot of weird shit that happens in this movie, chat. Like, it's pitching itself as like it really is. It's a horror film. There's no doubt about that. But also some weird sci-fi, cosmic nonsense. And I just think that would appeal to like mass audiences. It appeals to me because I love this kind of shit. Now, the movie's also an adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's The Color Out of Space as well. The same name, which I have not read. And, they've taken some liberties with it. They set it modern day, had it where it's, instead of, focusing on a single individual, focused on an individual and his entire family, and just the monstrous and crazy shit that happens to them. And Chad, oof, it doesn't, I'm going to tell you right now, they don't end up doing very well towards the end of the film. I don't think a lot of them are going to be making it out. That's all I can say. But, Chad, I got to set the mood for you. And the movie does a great job of setting the mood, because we just got this narration from this, what's his name, chat? No, not Benny, not Jack Gardner. Ward! Fucking Ward Phillips, chat. And he's a toxicologist or a hydrologist, and he's there to test the water in this surrounding area because they're going to build a whole big dam, chat. But before we get into all that nonsense, we're just looking at images of the forest. And let me tell you right now, the cinematography, at least in this part of the movie, is gorgeous. It's so creepy. It's ominous. It feels like it's set in a H.P. Lovecraft novel. So already, they're like, okay, you got me invested already right here. Based on how you're just establishing mood And it feels like literally the character of Ward is just reading Color Out of Space like the novel itself and describing it to you with the imagery just to showcase it. I was like, this is a perfect way to start this movie. I really, really like that. Lanine Patoon, thank you for the younger base. All right, guys, we got to do the poll after the review, though. After the review, we shall do the poll, but thank you again, Lanine Patoon, because I got to review this movie for you. So, chat, fucking Ward, he's doing this wonderful narration. He's just out there walking, surveying, chat, as is his responsibility. Piercy Boy, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Full year, congratulations, my friend. You are now the proud owner of a clear whiskey glass, the highest level. And so Ward, Agent Ward, he's just out there walking, chatting. What does he see before himself? Just this fucking girl. Lavernia, I believe her name is, Lavernia. And she's just performing an incantation, chat. She's praying something. It's like satanic, or Wiccan, I guess. Wiccan. He calls it Alexandrian. I don't know what that means. I guess it's another form of witchcraft, chat. But she is performing a spell of some sort. She's got the whole pentagram all around her. She's wearing the Wiccan-type clothes, chat. She's burning her mom's hair. And she's praying to whoever will listen. Whoever will listen out there in the great unknown of space, chat. Maybe it's a color. We don't know yet. To take her mom's cancer away. She's got like a lock of her mom's hair. Takes it's a little fucked up. Takes a big old a Zippo lighter and she burns it away. Burns away like the cancer. And Ward goes, hi. And she's like, oh, wait, what are you doing here? This is private property. What are you doing here? And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm the hydrologist. I'm here to test the water and make sure it's drinkable. And she says, well, the county line is back that way. This is my family's private property. You're not welcomed here, Ward. He's like, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure everyone's drinking healthy water as you do. But then Lavernia, she takes a liking to Agent Ward because Agent Ward, he's asking, he's like, so were you performing a Wiccan witch role? And she's like, yeah, I was. How do you know about that? And he's like, I know many things. I'm well read. And she's like, okay, I kind of like you. I like you, and since you're the only man I've seen other than my brother and my dad, who's Nicolas Cage, he's fucking nuts. And so instantly, let's be boyfriend, girlfriend, chat. That's what she wants at least. But Ward's like, no, thank you. I'm much older than you are. And she goes, well, I'll see you later. And Ward, he goes and tests the water, chat. And then we're just following Lavernia. And she's riding this fucking majestic stallion back to her family's ranch, chat. To their little home out in the, just the fucking sticks. I mean, all alone, just surrounded by forest. So already, it's like, this is pretty goddamn creepy. She comes upon a herd of her dad's alpacas, chat, because Nicolas Cage says alpacas are the future, apparently. You can milk them, you can shave them, and you can eat them. It's the perfect animal. It's the Renaissance animal, chat. So she goes ahead. She's about to put the horse in the barn, but who steps out on the porch, chat? It's Cosmic Cage. And Cosmic Cage is saying, why are you riding the horse? You gotta have your proper boots on. You gotta have your proper helmet on. What do you do? You're gonna concern your mother? If your mother finds out you were out riding like this, and he's like, Dad, don't worry about that. And the mother knows, chat, because she pulls the curtain away. And he's looking right at the daughter, and the mom wonders out. It's like, for Lavernia, what are you doing? Put your helmet on. Lavernia's like, why can't you guys respect me and my Wiccan rituals? And then she goes off, chat. She puts the horse up there. The mom, she goes upstairs. She's on the stock market, chat. She's one of those. She's a stockbroker. She's giving people all the info that they necessarily need, which they absolutely need right now. The stock market has crashed so much, and she's that. That's what she does for a living. Meanwhile, chat, we cut to the kitchen. We got all the kids in there. We got Lavernia. She's gotten back, chat. We have the little brother Jack. He's got these big old thick glasses. This kid can't see shit. He doesn't know what the hell he's looking at half the time, chat. And these are thick rimmed glasses. And he's talking to Lavernia when he's actually talking to his dad, chat. It's a little sad. And then we got Benny, chat, who I recognize as actor. He's played this type of role for his entire career, at least since 2014. He played the exact same character in one of my favorite films, thrillers, The Guest. Basically, he's Benny. He's a shy kid. He wants to play his video games. Wants to be left alone, chat. But they're here at dinner because Nicolas Cage, he wants him to eat this shit that he's got prepared for him. And he presents this, and he says it's like some French cuisine. And it just looks like a whole mass of beans and hot dogs. And I think he mentions alpaca meat. I think he slaughtered one of the alpacas outside, chat. And Lavernia's like, I don't want to eat that. No, thank you. And he's like, again, there's already tension, chat, already. Even though it's like, okay, you can kind of sense like a loving dynamic. This family is just filled with so many weird people. And they all have all those various issues that you could sense the tension here. It's thick. And then, the fucking, what's his name, Nicolas Cage, he goes, gets his wife comes down. She's a stressed out, chat, because we start to learn about what happened to her in her life. Apparently, diagnosed with breast cancer. They performed a mastectomy, and so she, I think, has one of her breasts removed. And so there's a lot of, complicated tension between her and Nicolas Cage because they haven't had sex in 6 months, chat. They haven't had sex in 6 months. And Nicolas Cage, he wants to have the sex, but his wife Teresa, she's like, I just don't feel comfortable doing this right now because she feels that her body would disgust Nicolas Cage. It's like, oh god. So it's already you had the drama right here, and this is like they have an interesting dynamic, and like both Teresa and Nicolas Cage, like they're already kind of weird. They're like this whole family's kind of off. You get the sense because originally they came from the city and they wanted to leave that lifestyle completely. They came to this farm here, which is owned by Nicolas Cage's dad. And Nicolas Cage's dad, he was a fucking prick because he said, you're going to come back to this farm because you're going to fail in the big city, Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is, I'll show you, but it was actually the dad. That was correct. Nicolas Cage was a failure, and now he's back here. And I think that's also the underlying tension of this. Nicolas Cage, he's trying to be the best farmer there is. He got alpacas for some reason. His daughter questions that decision. I mean, why are we going to eat alpacas? Why can't we just get fucking sheep or cows or like a normal family? He's like, the alpacas are the future. I don't know. I guess he read that somewhere, chat. And so that night, Nicolas Cage and Teresa, they're trying to have sex. We cut to Lavernia. She's listening to all her satanic Wiccan music, chat. Benny, he's just playing some video games, doing what teenage boys do. And Jack, he's having a nightmare. There's something, he feels something in the air, something from space, chat. We cut up to the big old sky up in the sky. And what do we see, chat? The fucking color purple. And we have fucking Whoopi Goldberg. She's coming down real goddamn fast. But we can't stop her. Whoopi's coming. It's not Whoopi Goldberg, chat. I joke. But it is a meteor of some type. And it is pinkish, purplish color, right? And this thing is coming down. All the alpacas, they're freaking out. The dog, that's what Jack, it's freaking out. Jack, he wanders out into the hallway, and this thing just hits the ground. She had shaking everything. Nicolas Cage and Teresa, they're having all the sex, so they're like, oh yeah, they're having a good time. Lavernia doesn't hear anything. Benny, he's playing the video games. Only Jack knows what's happening. Only he is seeing what's before him, chat, and he gets washed over by this radiation inside the house. I mean, technically they all do, but he gets a big old hunk of that radiation, and it goes right through him, chat. And then he starts fucking crying as you would do if you were hit by fucking purple radiation. Everyone wanders out. Nicolas Cage and Teresa, they grab little Jack, and Lavernia and Benny, they're all like, what the hell did? And then they go outside, and they see it. And at first, Nicolas Cage goes, ugh! It's like this horrific smell that only he can smell, chat, for some reason. But his other family members are like, we can't smell anything. And they go up to this big old meteor, chat, and it's still glowing. It's like it's pulsating. Like, that is odd. That's probably not a good thing right there. And all the animals are freaking out. Again, always trust the animals in this situation, chat. Like clearly if the animals are freaked out about something like this, then you should not go near this pulsating, gelatinous looking meteorite, okay? Doesn't help that it's fucking pink and purple. It's like, that's weird. I don't think meteors should look that way. Anyway, chat, it's the fucking next morning. And Nicolas Cage, he is called the mayor and the sheriff's office because this thing is damaged. He probably doesn't know what it is. He calls him over. And again, this is when Nicolas Cage just starts acting really weird. He says things that someone should not say at this moment, and like because the mayor's like asking him, okay, well, what happened? And it's like, how did it happen? When did you come outside? It's like, well, the wife and I, we hadn't done it in about 6 months. Like the mayor's like, why are you telling me this? And you should see her reaction, chat. It's fucking. She's like, what? I did not ask you what you and your wife were doing. All I was asking was, I mean, I guess I was, but don't tell me that detail. Nicolas Cage is sharing way too much in this moment, chat. And he basically said this fucking thing just came down. And the mayor's like, forget it. You know what? This could actually be good for the area. We have meteor showers, and it'll be good to put on the pamphlets while people visit our town after we put up that big old dam. Where's the hydrologist guy? And fucking Agent Ward, he's with him, Chad. He wanders over. He's like, all right, no one fucking... Agent Ward, best character in the movie because he's smart. He's like, don't touch anything. And he goes up to this thing. He's like, yeah, I don't know what that is. That looks fucking weird. Typically, meteors are supposed to burn up, on, entry, the atmosphere. That's a big one. That is unusual. And he's like, I want to take some more samples, if you don't mind. I want to see if anyone else has seen some weird shit. And it's like, Nicolas Cage, does anyone else happen to own property around this area? Nicolas Cage, again, acting just fucking weird the entire time. And he says, well, there is one person. Ezra, but he might not want to see, and he says this in a very particular way, chat, like he basically says, he might not want to see you. And it's like, why you? Because Agent Ward happens to be black for whatever reason, but he like the way he says you, it's like implying something. And Benny, his son's like, listen, I'll go ahead and take you to Ezra. He's a little weird. He lives off the grid, chat. Everything is solar powered. He's got cameras everywhere. He doesn't want the man to keep track of him. And so they go up there, chat, and they meet Ezra. And who is fucking Ezra, chat, might you ask? It's fucking Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong. It's Tommy Chong, the actor. And the guy's obviously off. He's a hippie. He's been living out there for probably decades. He fucking invites Agent Ward and Benny inside. He's like, hey, man, how you doing? Just go ahead and take a load off. I want some job. I guess that's just coffee chat. All he drinks is fucking coffee the whole time. And Agent Ward, like, fucking Tommy Chong hands Ward the cup. And Agent Ward just looks at the coffee. He's like, okay, there's, like, some shit glowing in here. And he's like, what is this? He's like, that's just the water, man. That's the way it's always been here, man. He's like, I don't think that's true, Tommy Chong. And he's like, I'm going to take a sample. And fucking Benny, this kid has no life, preservation skills whatsoever. He's like, yeah, it's good to me. And he's just fucking drinking it, chat. Don't drink the water. And so he's just fucking down. He's like, I'm going to take this back to camp. There's something not good about this. Then, chat, after Agent Ward, he does his little experiments back at his camp. And he's like, he detects something. Clearly something is in this water that should not be in this water, but I can't detect what element it is. It's very bizarre to me. And then he notices, like, he hears noises in the woods. Noises that he's, like, never heard before. He's using his flashlight, chat, and he's seeing, like a wave type thing. Like something that's going back and forth, back and forth. It's like a color. It's the color, chat. It's like the pink or purple hue. It's just a hue in the air. He's like, what the fuck is that? And then, chat, all the way behind him, his car just automatically turns on. And it's like it's trying to actually move forward. He's like, okay, that is just fucking bizarre. He goes with the car, chat, and it shuts down. He's like, all right, this is really confusing. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is some of an electromagnetic wave, but this feels very unusual. Then we cut back to the Cosmic Cage residence, chat, and already things are kicking off. Jack, the kid who got just a whole wave of radiation thrown him, he's just always sitting out there now. He's just fucking looking at the well, because he's just attracted to the well at this point, chat. And he notices, the whole family starts to notice, like, oh, these little pink and purple flowers have started to sprout. And they're appearing everywhere. Nicolas Cage goes, well, did you plant those, honey? She's like, I don't know, must be perennials. And he's like, they don't look weird. They got, like, little hentai tentacles and stuff. That looks weird. And good old Jack, he's just staring at this well. He's whistling at it, chat. Like, trying to hit a specific key. And occasionally the daughter, she's hearing this whistle too. And she's like, okay, so man, some odds going on. Like, Jax is acting weird. But, Nicolas Cage is like, forget about it. Everyone come in for dinner. Oh, no, because before that, chat, before they start having dinner, because Mom's preparing dinner at this moment, the news reporters, they all started to come there. And Nicolas Cage is giving an interview to these news reporters. And listen, he's failing hard. He's acting weirder than ever, chat. He's stumbling over all these words. He's not charismatic Cage as he typically is. Apparently, the meteor somehow just moved one day. It's no longer in the hole anymore. Like, what the fuck happened to me? Just get up and crawl out? Might have, chat. Might have gone in the well, matter of fact. Maybe that's the thing that Jack's been looking at for the entire goddamn time. If you pay attention to Jack, you wouldn't all be mutated creatures yet. So, Nicolas Cage, he's just so upset that he looks like such a dingus on television, chat. Just so erratic, like he typically does in all of his films he's been doing for the last, 10 years. And he's just calling for his wife, Teresa, get in. But something's wrong with Teresa, chat. She's cutting all these carrots, and she's in a trance. And she's just cutting them so aggressively. And to the point where it's like, Jack, please go get your mother. Tell her to come. Bring her ass over here. It's like, that's a little aggressive. Don't talk to your wife that way, Nicolas Cage. And Jack, he goes ahead, it's like, Mom, Dad wants you to come in. And she just chops her fucking fingers off, chat. And it's like, whoa. It's like her pinky finger and her ring finger, and she calls the family, dinner's ready, and there's this blood is just gushing out of him. It's like a sprinkler system, and Nicolas Cage says, holy shit, and he gets his wife, chat. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take your mom to the hospital. You go ahead, Benny, you are the man of the house, okay? Make sure the alpacas are fed. Lavernia, you keep being your weird self, and take care of Jack. I'll be right back. And they fucking drive off, Chad. They drive off. The next, then they gotta get emergency surgery for the mom because her fucking fingers have been severed. And so the next day, the hydrologist, he comes back, chat, and he's like, all right, I got like fucking talk to some of these people because this test came back very odd. I sent it to the lab. They're not able to identify what this thing is inside the water. I gotta go back to these people. And meanwhile, chat, Nicolas Cage house, Lavernia, She sees Jack. He's just fucking whistling at that well for some reason. She can't explain why. Jack, he eventually goes to that well, chat, and he sees like a pulsating egg sac on the side of the goddamn well. Darkslayer, thank you for the 5 biddies. This movie seems like it is an acid trip, man. Because they're playing, I haven't gotten to the point yet, chat, but they are playing with time and space. And then, like, they don't, like, different characters are experiencing different times of the day. Like, the son, he fucking gets lost in the woods. He thinks it's nighttime, then he comes back, it's, like, daylight. And the daughter, she just stands still for, like, I think, like, 7 hours while doing dishes. And, like, all they hear is this sound, and they can't do it. And Jack just fucking whistling at that well. Just always whistling. And then Laverne, she has to clean off the bloodied knife that her mom used to cut her fingers off. And so, like, all these different characters experience something different. Jack, he's seen, like, this weird egg sac births. This, like, looks like a praying mantis. It's like a very pink CGI praying mantis, chat. And just fucking flutters off. Benny, the times of day are changing for him when he's walking with the alpacas. He's just trying to get back home. And he's like, fuck this. I just want to get back home. And then reality is just shifting all around him, chat. And Lavernia, she's just standing still, and she hears this never-ending whistle in her ears, this hum, and she can't get rid of it. No matter what music she's listening to, she always hears this, chat. And so things are just weird. Then you had the hydrologist, Agent Ward. He comes back. He's, he's like, hey, I just want to check on you guys. Listen, I tested something in the water. I have no idea what it is. I sent it to the lab to see if what they can find out, but I would advise you not to drink any water. You haven't been drinking any water, have you? In chat, there is at least, I'm going to say 20 shots of everyone just fucking chugging this water. Except for Benny. Benny doesn't drink water. He drinks soda pop. But everyone's drinking water, chat. Nicolas Cage, he likes a little bit of the bourbon, chat. And he's been putting in these ice cubes, which have like a fucking pinkish hue to them. You can see it's like a pinkish bourbon. He's just putting those little things. And Nicolas Cage has been getting this like weird rash. Looks like radiation burns on his arms. Like, this isn't good. This isn't good. Laverna, she answers the door, chat. But then she's got the bubbly guts. And she goes to the bathroom. And she just starts vomiting like goo. It's like, that's probably not good. Then Ward, he goes and checks on Tommy Chan. He's like, hey, man, you doing okay? Tommy Chan's like, I'm fucking, you can hear them, man. They're underneath us, man. They came from up here, and now they're in here, man. And, like, he's just been, like, recording the Earth itself, chat. And he's like, listen to this, man. And Ward's like, all right. And he hears something underneath. And he can't identify. It's like, it's like just constant chatter, like static. It's like the world, the ground itself is alive. And he goes, I don't know what the fuck that is, but Tommy Chan, please don't drink any water. And he's like, hey, man, I can't promise anything. Also, chat, there's a part in the movie when, while they're at Ezra's house the first time, Tommy Chan's house the first time, they're introduced to this is a terrible joke, Tommy Chan's pussycat, whose name is G-Spot. Yes, I know. His name is G-Spot, and they love that fucking cat, chat. He's so cute. He's got this little dongle on his neck, little bell. He's adorable. And then when Ward comes back, he's asking me, hey, so what happened to G-Spot? And fucking Tommy Chan goes, he fucking mutated, man. It was weird. It's like, what do you mean mutated? And he's kind of says like, hey, man, he's everywhere now. He's free. He's gone beyond himself, man. And Ward's like, what do you mean by, okay, well, I'll keep an eye out for him. He's like, you're not going to you may see him, but you not might recognize him, man. So we're going to see your mutated fucking G-Spot, chat. That's a cat. It's not the other thing. Later in the movie. So we cut back to... during all this time, chat, Lavernia, she's trying to get a hold of her father. Nicolas Cage trying to get a hold of her. And every time they use the phone and the internet, it's all scrambled. It's all static. They hear other voices. They hear themselves. They hear variations of themselves. Like, Lavernia hears her father just yelling in the phone, but we cut to Nicolas Cage in the hospital. He's just talking calmly to her. So again, time and reality is fucking shifting all around them. It's like different variations of them are present at the same time. It's really cool, wacky shit. I love it. But then, the surgery was successful for Teresa. And Nicolas Cage, he's like, I'm gonna drive you back home. And he's just, again, shouldn't be acting. He's just fucking singing a song, like, super loudly. When it's like, if I just cut, like, 2 of my fingers off, the last thing I want to do is hear a fucking song being sung by Nicolas Cage. Just calm down, let's get home, and let me, mourn my fucking 2 fingers that are now severed from my body forever. So, whatever. I guess they reattach him, chat, but I'd still be pretty pissed. They'd be fucked up fingers for a while. And while they're driving, chat, they see fucking G-Spot, because you can tell because he's wearing the dongle. And listen, the effects of this movie, this is a relatively low budget, and the effects so far in this film have been pretty good, but this is the absolute worst effect in the whole film. Because you see a mutated CGI cat monster, and it looks shit. And this goes, and it fucking runs off in the forest. This guy goes, oh, do you see that fucking cat? You see that fucking cat was fucking weird. And they go back to the house, chat. Lavernia, she's still hearing that hum. She can't get over her head. Jack, he's just fucking sitting out there whistling at that well. So that kid is gone. There's something wrong with Benny. He fucking finally got back to the house. He's like, I've been out there for weeks. I need water. He's chugging the water, Jack. So him and Lavernia, they're like, okay, we gotta get the fuck out of here. There's something weird going on. The meteorite did something. The plants are turning pink and purple. We gotta get out. And then Nicolas Cage and Teresa, they pull up. They're saying this in the house. Jack is still just sitting, whistle at that well. Nicolas Cage and Teresa, they come back, chat, and Jack goes, Mommy, Daddy. He's fucking crying. It's like, why are you crying, man? You were crying before when you're talking to your best friends. He also says to Ward, when he's back at the house, chat, it's like, I'm just playing with my friends. Ward's like, what the fuck are you what your friends are? And when Ward's kind of walking away, Jack goes, ha! It's like, Ward's like, okay, this kid is fucking creepy. I'm gonna leave. And that's when he goes sees Tommy Chong again. But Nicolas Cage, Teresa, they're back, and they're very mad at the way they've taken care of Jack because they've been one son's just been fucking lost in the woods, the other one's freaking out and has the bubbly guts. So I can understand you weren't able to take care of Jack in this instance. And the Teresa, she goes upstairs with Jack and John, and basically get him to sleep. Nicolas Cage, he just starts scolding, and we get some, I'm sorry, chat, but some terrible fucking acting from Nicolas Cage. Because he starts to, mock his daughter, Lavernia. He starts talking like a teenager. I'm sorry that it's so difficult to be a teenage girl. It's like, this is not working here. No, rewrite this entire scene. It's not that great. It's not that great. Chad, welcome to the stream. How you doing? I'm just in the middle. This is Incredible Scott. They call him Jack. No, his name is Jack, but the characters actually call him Jack throughout the movie. So I was like, oh, that's kind of a cute nickname. And so fucking Nicolas Cage, he's just talking like a teenage girl. That upsets Lavernia. Nicolas Cage, he stomps off. And Teresa's like, what'd you do? He's like, I blew up at my daughter. I feel kind of bad. Because I'm not getting any Dad of the Year awards for some time. I was like, yeah, no shit, man. Not a great father, chat. Then the next day, again, Nicolas Cage is very erratic. He goes downstairs. He fucking pours himself another drink, chat, another whiskey. Has the fucking weird pink purple ice in it. I wouldn't do that, Nick Cage. He doesn't give a shit. And he's just watching a TV chat, just fucking static. Just weird static and radiation just washing over him. Next day, chat, he's outside. The entire fucking front yard has just changed colors. It's pinks and purples, and Nicolas Cage just he's munching on everything. Actually, no, he's going to his tomato plants and his peaches, and the tomatoes look like just these monstrous. I mean, they're giant tomatoes, but they're like super veiny and just they don't look appetizing. He's like, oh, that looks fucking great. Puts it in his basket, all his peaches. Meanwhile, Teresa, she's, the stockbroker, as I told you. The Wi-Fi goes out. She lost another client. And while Nicolas Cage, he's washing all the fruits and things, Teresa comes in. She's just yelling at Nicolas Cage. She's like, fuck this. I lost 2 fingers. I'm losing clients left and right. Can you just fix the fucking satellite dish? Nicolas Cage goes, I'm eating a peach. I'm eating a peach, Teresa. Leave me alone. He's eating that peach. Goes, bah! He eats a tomato chip. Bah! It's all tastes like shit. He's like, everything tastes like shit. Everything I touch is shit. Nicolas Cage is going off at this point, chat. He's fucking He's thrown all the fruit into the actress who played Teresa's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do when he does this. And Nicolas Cage he throws the fruit into the waste bin. He's like, fucking slam dunk. Fucking slam dunk. It's like, don't do that. Tag of the very veiny tomatoes. Don't eat the very veiny tomatoes, chat. And Teresa's going, all right, just fix the fucking satellite. He goes, I'll fucking fix it, okay. And then he goes and he starts drinking again, chat. Drinking that whiskey. With all the weird pink and purple ice. Later that night, Chad, with Nicolas Cage, he fucking passed out. His skin's all looking weird on his arms. Look like radiation burns. I think we also... Are we at this point? Yes! Okay. Or no, not yet. So, Jack, he's sleeping with his mom. But he just went, fucking, he gets up because he hears something outside, Chad. He hears something. And he goes out there. And he's just sitting right, over this little hill. Right by the house, and he's just looking at the well. Fucking Sam the dog, who I didn't mention until earlier, but there's a dog in this chat. Does the dog end up doing well? No, it doesn't. This dog sits right by him, and they watch this fucking thing come out of the well. It's like this ethereal pink purple light that's like waving around like water in the air, and they got it all like, and it's a good effect too, because what they did is the background is all in soft focus, and so it looks pretty cool. But the dog's like, fuck that pink cloud thing, I'm gonna bark at it. And he goes up to this fucking pink cloud thing, just barking. Those barks turn into whines, and you just hear something just being ripped apart, chat. And you hear this dog just fucking screaming. Jack, he's like, yes, yes, and he's all about it. Eventually, Benny, he comes outside because he's looking for Jack, and there's Bonnie. Cause no, and at this point he's just like, hey buddy, it's quite a night, right? And meanwhile, Jack just saw fucking Sam the dog. Something bad happened to him, chat. Did not look good to me. And then he hears something coming from the barn. He's like, that sounds weird. Jack, well, we're fucking dumb white people. Let's go investigate. So he's got this flashlight, chat, and he just goes to the barn of the alpacas because he hears a sound. Just, like this like a mutated alpaca sound, chat. And so they go up there. Meanwhile, fucking Teresa, she's like, where's Jack? She wanders downstairs, chat. Eventually, Benny and Jack, they open the barn. They go in this little area where the alpacas are typically kept. They don't see them. Like, usually they're always right here, but they hear a sound coming from the very back of the barn, chat. And they go back there, and they look at something that might as well just come from John Carpenter's The Thing. All the alpacas have just been smushed together, and they're all like just fucking leaking shit and everything. And their limbs are all up in the air. It's like it is a John Carpenter thing in there, chat. And it's not looking good. And it's like, okay, clearly they drank the water. Don't drink the water, chat, as I said. And they're like, okay. Then fucking Benny's survival instincts kicked in. He's like, hey, let's get the fuck out of here. He grabs Jack. He's like, Jack, come on, Jack. He's too slow, Chad. He's got those little kid legs, and they can't keep up with good old Benny. But because then the mass also starts like glowing and shooting off like this pink electricity, this purple pink electricity towards them. And Benny, he grabs Jack, but Jack gets too fucking slow, and he's like, come on, man, come on. And then Teresa, she runs out. She's like, oh, Jack, and she envelops Jack in a hug, Chad, and they're like, oh, mommy. And all of a sudden they get hit by a fucking lightning bolt of pink and purple energy. And then fucking Benny's like, oh, fuck. And then Nicolas Cage and Lavernia, they come out of the house, and what they see before them is fucking Jack and Teresa have just become this mass. This gelatinous human mass. Like Jack is slowly just coming out of her back. His fucking foot is coming out of her neck, and he's just going, and they're like, whoa! And they fucking take her into the house. It's not looking good. And I love Nicolas Cage is like, so, it's a little weird, And he's like, call the hospital. He's like, call the hospital? What are you gonna tell them? That your son and your wife have fused together into a single organism? They're going, brah. It's like, no, man. And they put the wife's son on the couch, the wife's son, Teresa Jack on them. That's the new name, Chad. It's Teresa, or no, Jack Teresa. No, Teresa Jack. The son, he's not looking too, he's going blah, blah. Like he can kind of say some words, Chad. Teresa's a little bit kind of there, but she's all fucking mutated. And they're like, we don't know what to do. We legitimately, I don't know what to do. Nick Cage goes, okay, we can't get a signal, like there's no dial tone. Clearly the color out of space is manipulated, time and reality around them. Can't contact anybody. He goes out to try to get the truck working, truck's not working. He's like, fuck. He goes back inside, Teresa Jack, blah, the whole time. He's like, no, it's not good. What's her name? Lavernia, she decides to do a Wiccan curse on the entire family, because you know what, fuck everybody. Fuck you people. Wiccan curse for everyone. And so she kind of blames herself for what happens, even though it's like, that technically, I mean, come on. It was clearly sci-fi, not magic, but whatever. We'll give it to you. And she's like cut herself like multiple times, Chad, used like a blood sacrifice to whatever being or god. I don't know. It's weird. And so Nick Cage just like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And then they notice that the light from the sun is burning the skin of Teresa Jack and just like bubbling, and these warts are popping up like she's mutating already before their eyes. And so they fucking are like, all right, let's drag her upstairs to the attic. And they drag her upstairs to the attic. She had to put her on a mattress, and she's just fucking bellowing and just groaning. It's like, ugh, and the sun's like it sounded like a sheep. And we're like, we don't know what the fuck to do. All right, and they said, okay, and she's like begging for like Teresa Jack's like water, and we're like, all right, go, give your mom a drink. I'm gonna go outside and take care of the alpaca. At this point, Nicolas Cage has fucking lost it. He's on 11 the entire time. Chat, he's screaming all of his dialogue. He goes out to the bar. He's got a fucking double barrel shotgun, chat, and he just starts pumping, just pumping bullets one after the other in this alpaca monster until it finally dies. I think it's just spraying him in the face. He's like it's all about it, rubbing all his body. And he goes back upstairs, chat, where mom is lapping up the water like a dog. Like that. It's like, ugh. And like the kids just want to vomit. I mean, you would if you just saw your mom with your baby brother like literally like pulsating out of her back. It's just not looking good. And dad's back there and he goes, okay, kids, I'm gonna take care of business now. And he's like, and then this scene is drawn out for way too long, chat. Again, some of the acting it's a little too over the top for me. And he's like, I gotta take care of this. And the daughter, it's like, what do you mean? He's like, I gotta take care of your mom. And the daughter's like, you mean like you took care of those alpacas? And Nicolas Cage goes, yeah. It's like, oh, that was not necessary. You just needed, I'm gonna take care of your mom now. And then the kids just should have known, and they left the room. They fucking, hey man, do it. Fucking do it. Nicolas Cage, he's got the gun. He puts the gun right over Teresa Jack, and Teresa Jack's kind of crying too. And I know what they tried. I know what they tried to do in the scene, chat, but it's the same problem that I have in The Fly when Gina Davis sees Seth after like a month, and she just decides to hug him even though he's missing a fucking ear, and she just rubs up against that ear socket hole. And it's like, this doesn't work. Same situation happens here, Jeff. Nicolas Cage, he just can't bring himself to kill Teresa Jack. And he's like, I love you, honey. And he proceeds to make out with the abomination creature that is his wife and son. Just the mucus on his lips, chat. It's like, this doesn't work. This was not necessary. You just needed him to break down. I was like, I can't do it. I just can't. That's what you need. Not him to fucking make out with this thing. I guess to show how far gone he's gone, but that was not necessary. By this point, Benny and, Chris Starr, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying it, my friend. You're my new Huckleberry. Is this incest? I guess kind of it is. It is. In a way. Definitely child abuse. I don't know how that works when your wife and son have been fused together into one being. I'm not sure how that works. If someone wants to let me know, please give me your take, Jack. Give me your take. But Nicolas Cage is like, I gotta take care of business. Even though it's not that kind of shotgun. I like to do that noise, Jack. And so we're following Benny and, oh God, what's his name? Her name. What? I already forgot her name. Lavernia. And they're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And they're starting to get all the supplies ready, Chad. They get stuff from the barn. They get the horse. They're right on the horse, chap. The horse is it's got glowy purple eyes. Like, that's probably not good. And the horse, it fucking freaks out and it takes off, chat. Meanwhile, we cut back to the town where it's daytime. Again, I love how they play with reality at this point, chat. Like, it's different times of day except for the Nicolas Cage family, the Cosmic Cage family. And they have Agent Ward there, and the mayor's none too happy about this situation, about all the weird shit people reporting out of that specific area where the meteorite crashed. And the sheriff's like, Agent Ward, you can come over here. We want to show you something. My friend here, he found some stuff on the side of the road, and this looks a little weird. We want you to check it out. He's like, sure, man, I'll check it out. And it's this fucking dead mass of animals that is all one organism, chat. And what's in the middle of that fucking mass? It's fucking G-Spot, chat. It's G-Spot the pussycat. Because he knows, because he's got the little dog, the little bell, and he's like, that is not good. All right, Sheriff, we got to go to the Cosmic Cage residence. We also got to check on Tommy Chan, make sure they're okay. He's like, fucking, let's do it, man. And, I should bring backup, right? I should bring like a whole bunch of guys. Agent Ward's like, nah, I'm sure it's fine. You got to bring a fucking army to this place now, chap. They don't do that. And so they fucking drive out there. And they start to see all the weird shit. They see the fucking horse just running away. All the vegetation has changed, chat. They're going to go check on Tommy Chan first, I believe. They're going to check on Tommy Chan first and see what the hell's happened here. Meanwhile, we cut back to the Cage residence, chat. Cage completely lost it. He's wandering around the house. He's talking to family that he thinks is there, but they're not there, chat. His rash is getting worse. And fucking, we hear something happen upstairs, chat. Like, I think Teresa Jack is continuing to mutate into something else. It's like, does not sound good. Benny, he hears what he thinks is Sam the dog. And Benny, again, this is when his survival instincts, they go kaput, chat. Because he's like, the dog is down the well. See, it's a different take on Lassie, chat. Get it? Instead of the boy stuck in the well, it's the dog. And the fucking idiot human, he's going to go down the well. What we know is they're fucking egg pustules down there and weird shit. And we just saw that mass, that pink cloud mass come out of him. So you probably shouldn't go down there, Benny. But Benny's like, the dog's down there. He's like, don't go down there. And Benny, Lavernia's like, don't fucking go down there, you idiot. He's like, I got to save the dog. She's like, fuck the dog, Lavernia. She's inherited his survival instincts, chat, but he fucking waddles down there. And then right below him, he says, oh, that's not good. And, like, the mass starts to come up, chat, and he is just irradiated to shit till he basically just turns to dust. Or he just becomes non-existent, chat. He's just gone. It just envelops him, and he dies. Lavernia, she fucking panics, and she runs back to the house. Crazy Nick Cage just goes, rah! And he fucking grabs her, and he's just beating the shit out of her. He's just throwing her around the room, just hitting her. And he's like, it's time to feed Mom. And she's like, what the fuck? No, I want to feed Mom. And he takes her upstairs, chat. And then kind of like regular Nicolas Cage is coming out, but still crazy. And he's like, oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry. She's like, just, Daddy, I'll do anything you want. And he's like, I know you will. And he opens the door and he throws Lavernia into the room, chat. And we see off in the corner, we see Teresa Jack, and it's all in shadow now. It's like, anytime Teresa Jackson's shadow, that's probably not a good thing. And that mass has gotten bigger. And it's just kind of like doing this now. It's like, that's probably not good. And then Nicolas Cage, what does he do, chat? He goes back downstairs, pours himself a drink, putting that little pink and purple ice, and he's just relaxing. And he's talking to his invisible family. Meanwhile, we cut back to Agent Ward and the sheriff, and they're visiting Tommy Chan. Again, everything's fucking weird and mutated. They go inside, and Tommy Chan has just become mummified, chap. He's mummified. He's got like a little glowy thing inside of his head. This audio recording's playing, and it's basically him just doing all of his speak before, where it's like, it came from out there, it came from up there, and now it's in here. It's penetrating all life, man. It's everywhere. You can't escape it. It's like, whoa. And then Tommy Chan starts to come apart, chat, in this massive light. And like, okay, we gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, chat. I gotta reverse this. So, Agent Ward and Tommy Chan, they come to the house first. My mistake. They come to the Nicolas Cage house first. Then they'll go to Tommy Chan's house. So they go to Nicolas Cage residence. Nicolas Cage opens the door. He is fucking out of his mind, chat. He's just like, oh, come in, covered in radiation burns and shit all off his body. He's like, oh, just here's my wonderful family. He's like, there's no one there. Like, okay, where's your daughter? Where's your wife? And it's like, upstairs, man. They hear fucking screaming, chat, because we cut upstairs, and Lavernia, she sees what Teresa Jack has become, and it's just this giant fucking thing creature, just blah, and just comes right over, just like walking on like multiple legs, ends up on top of her and just starts vomiting all this goo on her. Chat's like, what is this thing doing? Just vomiting, blah, licking her and all that. And then the sheriff and Agent Ward, they bust open the door and like, holy fucking shit! And they grab Lavernia out of there. Nicolas Cage, he comes in, bam, blows Teresa Jack's head off, or at least Teresa's head. It explodes, it goes down. And then Jack, who's still alive, he's like, Daddy. He's like, Daddy. And Nicolas Cage goes, fuck you. And he kills his son. Jack killed his wife and his son. Teresa Jack is no more. And he goes, that thing wasn't my family. And then they're like, all right, we gotta get the fuck. Okay, Lavernia, let's take you out of here. Sheriff's like, fuck yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. They go downstairs, chat. But Nicolas Cage, he's tackling everybody. He's about to kill Lavernia. Before he does that, fucking sheriff, bam, shoots Nicolas Cage in the back, chat. Fucking bullets spray out of him, and he's down. He's still alive, though, but he's down. And Lavernia, she's like, why did you shoot my dad? Because he's going to kill you. And Lavernia, she's crying over her dad. And, fucking Ward's like, okay, we got to go check on Tommy Chan to make sure he's okay. He was very charming. So they go over to Tommy Chan. Again, fucking mummified, light coming out of him, chat. They leave his residence. As they're just fucking booking it back to the, the Cosmic Cage residence. They pull an Evil Dead. The sheriff, he's grabbed onto by like a tree vine, and he's caught up in there, and the tree vine then begins to insert itself through the sheriff's mouth and just starts ripping him apart from the inside out. It's fucked up. It's not good. Alien Stonecrop, welcome to the stream. Dude, that movie cracked me up, but it was a good way. It's a fun watch, man. It's a fun watch. And then, chat, we go back. Ward, he's back there. He's running around. Fucking Lavernia, she's out of her mind at this point, too. She's outside near the well. Her eyes are all glowing, chat. She's been exposed to more of the radiation stuff. And then she's like, oh, Ward, it's everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. He's like, what are you talking about? Let's get the fuck out of here. And then she touches his head, chat, and he's imbued with this vision. And we learned, it's implied that this is her showing the creature itself, the pink, the color out of space, and the planet it originated on. And how the single planet was one massive organism. It's all hentai. All the hentai is there, chat. All these giant tentacles. It's all moving in unison in one thing. And it's implied that this entity is trying to remake Earth in that way. It's trying to replicate, at least its idea of what it needs to be. And Agent Ward's like, fuck that. He backs out, out of Lavernia's little weird telepath moment. And she goes, it's coming. And then the fucking thing blasts out of the well, chat, and it goes up into space, and it's like this massive energy, and time and space is shifting. Ward is like, he's seeing his like limbs stretch and everything. It's not, I guess it's painful, but he's like, what the fuck? It's like, it's all weird. He's like in one place and another place at the same time. And he sees Lavernia just burn away. The daughter just burns away, chat. And she's gone, and he runs back into the house, and he just sees fucking Nicolas Cage just sitting there drinking his whiskey, chat. Always drinking his whiskey. He has these weird pustules on his face, like these giant mutated boils. And he's just looking, and we also see the family there too. Like, Ward is just being imbued with all of the past events in the house, like, all at once. And he's so overwhelmed by this. He sees the family just sitting on the couch looking at him. He's like, what the fuck? And then Nicolas Cage goes to attack him. Darkseid, think with the 5 minutes. It is hentai ego. And Nicolas Cage, he just jumps on him, and he's, like, trying to drag Agent Ward to the family. You must be one, and all that shit. And Agent Ward's like, fuck that! He fucking kicks Nicolas Cage, and he goes down to the cellar, chat, nice wine cellar, and Nicolas Cage, he just ramming, he's just drumming on the goddamn top of this thing. So you couldn't just open the latch, man. It's a pull, not a push. But he's just hammering on this thing, chat. The fire, like the weird color out of space, just going up in the sky, and all of a sudden there's this massive explosion, chat. This massive explosion as it exits the well and goes up into space. Agent Ward, he climbs out, and all the color in the surrounding property, anywhere where the light had touched, chat, it's all turned to white. It's all turned to ash. There's no more color there. Except for Agent Ward. He's the only one. He's the only there. Anything there that has any semblance of color, all the color has been drained out. Fucking Nicolas Cage's body's been all fucking mummified. It's like you touch him, he's like turns to ash. Look at the people of Pompeii. And then we cut to, I don't know, years later, I assume. And it's Agent Ward. He's just looking off the side of the dam. He looks older. He's fucking smoking doobies left and right, chat. He's like, fuck this. I never smoked before. I'm fucking smoking now. I don't give a damn. And he's just saying, yep, I saw so many things in that vision, and there are things that are even far worse than this thing that came here. And I'm never going to drink that fucking water. And he throws his doobie into the water, chat, and that is color out of space. It is, listen, I have some issues with this movie. There is some overacting even before the weird stuff happens, and it doesn't really fit with what's going on. Like, had they just done, like, let's do another take. I think that it would be really tight, but there is a lot to appreciate about this film, chat. Ooh! Black Sheep, thank you for the 1931, or thank you for the 1 biddy. Thank you, Black Sheep. It has very impressive cinematography. They do well with most of its budget. There are some CGI effects that just don't work. The fucking CGI mutant cat, that doesn't work. The weird alpaca thing monster is great. Lavernia, or Teresa Jack, great effect. Like, there's all the practical effects, as you'd expect, chat, look wonderful. All the CGI effects, it's like either it's okay, it's like it's good, it goes from good to okay to just plain bad. And there's a plethora of all that throughout the film. Honestly, this might be an unpopular thing to say, but I think Nicolas Cage was just miscast in this movie. Like, I understood why they got him for the role, because you got to play crazy. But I think he was just crazy too soon. You know, honestly, I think it would have been better. I look at a performance like Jack Nicholson's performance in The Shining, where there was already tension there. You could see there was rage there, but he tried his best to always keep in check. He would let it out occasionally, but it was like, okay, clearly this guy, he's angry, he has some issues, but it wasn't like, already. And Nicolas Cage was already kind of doing that before he got infected and stuff. So it's like, all right, that was my big issue. Like, in terms of the performances, he probably gave the weakest, kind of, in my opinion. But overall, still a really fun film. Highly recommend checking it out. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year so far. I would give it a low full price. Low full price, chat. Apparently, this is the first of this director's H.P. Lovecraft trilogy. He's calling it the Dunwich Horror trilogy. And I'm liking what I've seen so far. It looks pretty cool. Yeah. What about you guys? Have any of you seen this film? I'm curious. Wait, so did it fuck up the world? It just left. I think what happened, yeah, in case it just leaves. It just leaves. It takes all the color out of the area that it infected and just leaves. So I guess maybe it used that place as a host temporarily. So think of it as like it was a rest stop. I thought of it this way, chat. I thought of it, it's just like, hey, I just got to stop here for a couple days, just gain some strength, suck this fucking family dry, everything the surrounding area dry. I'm just going to go off on my journey. I really thought it, I read it as that. It was just, it's like, hey, well, hold on, guys. I got to go ahead and get some food and take a massive shit. I'll meet you in a couple of days. It really felt that way. That's kind of interesting. You know, I thought that was kind of cool. Well, what was your guys' take on it? Because clearly it's like Agent Ward's like, okay, I'm not gonna drink that fucking water, but he says I saw other things that are even worse than whatever the fuck this thing was, and they're probably gonna come to Earth too. I don't know. That's how I read it. It was a pit stop, exactly. So yeah. I think I read it as a pit stop. Yeah. Chris Ayers, imagine if this director had gone to see Island of Dr. Moreau through to the end. Maybe he could have done a very good job. I thought he did a very good job here, Chad. There's some issues. I have some issues with the movie, but overall, I like horror movies like this. You know, it's very interesting. It's not your prototypical horror film that you often see in theaters, and I think that's why they didn't release it in theaters. But I enjoyed it. If you want to see something different, I recommend it. If you love Lovecraftian horror, if you love hentai chat, you love body horror, then fucking go at it.